Well, hello, I am Pastor Will Cole, pastor at St. Matthew Lutheran Church in Millerstown, Pennsylvania. We're affiliated with the Association of Free Lutheran Congregations. And welcome to Answers with Pastor Will. Now, I recently had a question that was brought to me on Facebook, so I figured, hey, it's not what we normally have done in the past, but it is a question. It deserves an answer. So today's question is there anything wrong with cremation? Now the short answer is no. With the cost of everything going up, a full burial can be very expensive. Whereas cremation is a lot less expensive. Now, it doesn't, to me, I don't think it shows any less respect. When my dad passed away, he was cremated, and he was buried as well. But let's really think about this. So if we go back to Genesis 1, where God took dust, right? He formed it, breathed the breath of life in, and boom, you have Adam. So God took dust and made a man. In fact, on Ash Wednesday, if you practice the rite of the imposition of ashes, the quote is, "From dust you came, and unto dust you shall go." So let's think about that. When somebody dies, given a long period of time, and I'm not talking about the soul, I'm just talking about the physical body, what happens? We decay, we rot, we turn to dust. Essentially, we came from dirt, we go back to dirt. But, and that doesn't really, to me, I don't really find that depressing. Why? Well, one, when we die, those who trust in Jesus go to heaven. But heaven isn't the final destination. Think of it as more like a green room. Because we have the promise of the resurrection. Because Jesus died on the cross for our sins and rose again from the dead, one day we too will rise. So think about, most people who have died, many of them have no remains left. For one reason or another, their remains are gone. Does that mean that God has nothing to work with? Of course not. You could be cremated and have your ashes sent to Mars. It won't matter. All right. Now, I will say for some people, though, they can have more closure, if they see the casket and the body and all that. But I would just like to reiterate, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. See, what matters is that, one, we know that we're sinful. We know that there's a God, that he has a law, and that we have broken that law. Two, that he sent his son, Jesus Christ, true God, became man to pay our punishment so that we wouldn't have to. And he did that on the cross. His blood has washed away our sins. Three, he rose again from the dead in victory and power. That tomb, forever empty. He's not there. He's risen. And we just celebrated it for the past some odd weeks. And essentially every Sunday. Because, off topic, but that's why most Christians worship on Sundays in honor of the resurrection. All right. And then finally, because Jesus was raised from the dead, he promises that he will raise us from the dead on the last day. And that's really our source for hope. So, this is a quick one, but I wanted to answer that. So, again, is there anything wrong with cremation? The answer is no. Now, if you are going to be in the area with us, in the Millerstown area, we're about a half an hour west of Harrisburg. I invite you guys to come to worship. Right now, for the next 2 weeks, we're still doing Sunday school and adult Bible class at 9 a.m., worship at 10. All right, and then beginning in June, for the months June, July, and August, we go to our summer schedule. We have worship at 9:30. All right, feel free to check us out at stmatthewpa.org. All right, and if you have a question that you would like me to answer, feel free to go to the website there, Answers with Pastor Will tab. Below there's a contact us button. Send me your question. I'll be happy to do an episode on that. All right. But until next time, God's blessings to everyone, and we'll see you later. All right.